All right, y'all. We back with another video, man. Y'all already know what's going on, all right? Now, after taking a little day off, I came across this clip, right? Now, I know we do a lot of videos on the NFL, we do a lot of videos, NBA, sport topics, especially since the movie Him came out and so on, right? So I saw this short clip that it was recent. I think it might have been an interview done a couple of days ago from a former NBA player named Trey Burke. Now, a lot of you NBA fans, you're going to know who Trey Burke is, right? In the clip that I'm going to show you, you know, he said something very simple, but he talked about the doors that some of the higher players, the superstar players, took in the NBA. And he said a lot of the stuff that they do is demonic and dark, right? Something that we already know. And when I saw that clip, another clip popped up. You know, you watch something else is gonna pop up along that topic, right? And it was from a creator on TikTok I've seen before. And it was talking about Derrick Rose injury being fake. And I think that injury was back in 2011, 2012, something like that, at the peak of his career, right? I said, all right, we got to talk about this because I've never talked about Derrick Rose, but a lot of people have talked about this theory, even dating all the way back to, what's dude's name? Rashad Jamal. He even talked about his injury being faked as well, right? Now, I just recently was talking about it with the NFL and the rituals that they do, lining up injuries to be the same as an injury that happened 20 years ago. You know, we just did a video about this topic with the NFL. So we know they create rituals around injuries, right? Now, in Derrick Rose's case, I fully believe as well that this injury was not real, that it was faked for deeper purposes. Now, a lot of people think, hey, Derrick Rose didn't do the rituals. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. So they had to fake his injury and, basically stop him from being as big as LeBron. Or if you wanted to be one of the biggest players in the NBA, you had to go through with the sacrifices. You had to choose one of those doors, whether it was going to be, something zesty or something, right? You got to choose one of those doors. Now, I think he did choose one of those doors at first, but he didn't continue with it because I just don't feel like no man is going to get a giant triangle tattoo in the middle of his neck and then pick Godspeed over that triangle. Now, obviously, after that injury, Derrick Rose continued to play in the NBA for a long time, but he never reached the peak that he was going to reach. And I believe that injury was faked to stop him from doing that. Now, I want to play this short clip as well when I think he was on the Matt Hoffa podcast where he talked about escaping out of the circus of the NBA that I thought was very interesting. So without me talking too much, as I usually do in the intro, let's go ahead and jump into this clip. That being said, check this out.
Before, it was kind of just about basketball. Let me just see how good I can be in basketball. You know what I mean? But once I found that deeper purpose, it made me kind of understand life at a deeper level. And I'm still on that journey till this day.
Yes, sir.
I'm still on that journey. And I think athletes need to know that. It's a lot of athletes out here that just want to make it to the NFL, just want to make it to the NBA. You got Instagram, Facebook, you got so much distractions and they just looking at the lifestyle, but they don't know what's going on inside of the person. They don't know what's really going on.
Man, you made it to the league, bro. It's a whole, they don't put the emphasis on it that I feel like we should get because it's
1%.
It's a prestigious fraternity, bro. Like straight up, it's not. It's just something that ain't easy to do. So I commend everybody.
I look at it like everybody in the world who ever played basketball wanted to go to the NBA, bro. Every kid from every state,
from across seas, everything. And some of the people that got to do that, bro, it's a small list, bro. It's 1%, bro.
So I just feel like it need to be more respect on the guys who they don't look at as the so-called superstars. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
because it's so much going on, bro. Like, and I don't even want to get into all that, but a lot of bro, some niggas, bro, some superstars took a different route. I'm gonna be real.
real shit.
Some superstars took a different route, and I ain't get on here to talk about that much. But some of that shit come with some demonic shit, some dark shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
Some of that shit, it get real. You know, so I appreciate my journey. I appreciate my career. I appreciate my legacy, as I also stood for a lot. And I took a lot of hits for who I was as a person too. Like, I don't talk about the situation a lot, but I ain't get, bro. I took it real. I went through a lot with that. You know what I mean? In Dallas, after I really established myself in Dallas.
They held that against you?
Yeah. You know, and I don't really get into it a lot on camera because I still respect that organization a lot, bro. That organization did a lot for me and my family. You know, I love the Dallas Mavericks, but I think it was bigger than the Dallas Mavericks. It wasn't just the Dallas Mavericks that held it against me. It was bigger than that. It was a whole agenda in place for anyone who didn't conform to getting. I decided not to. I got kids. I had to explain to them that I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't agree with, you know, anybody telling you to do something that go against your will, go against your belief system.
Now, who you just heard, that was Trey Burke. And, you know, his opinion on it is valid for sure. He is a very good ball player at Michigan, very good in the NBA. He's been around it. He's seen it all. And it just confirms it when another person comes out and tell you, you know, with a straight face that this stuff get wicked at the top. I mean, we already know. You think about James Harden, Kevin Durant, LeBron, Steph Curry. You think about all of these players who have amassed, you know, millions of fans, even, you know, close to billions of dollars. I mean, Steph Curry is worth like 300 million. We know LeBron is a billionaire. Boule symbol tatted on his chest. You know, these players chose that door. Derrick Rose was on his way to being at that same level. And you have to know that it was not just an injury that kept him from getting there. They forced him to fake that injury. You don't want to play along. You're not going to see this type of money. You're not going to end up being this type of player that you could have been. I mean, he would have been, man, Derrick Rose is like bigger than Jordan in Chicago. I mean, he's actually from Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Like, Derrick Rose, they look at him as like the savior in Chicago. They don't even think about Jordan the way they think about Derrick Rose in Chicago. He would have been huge. So look, I'm going to play this clip real quick from Derrick Rose talking about the circus in the NBA, all that good stuff. Then we'll come back and we'll get into this other clip as well, actually, maybe before I come back. But anyways, check this out.
Who's the Grim Reaper?
Explain.
You have the Grim Reaper on your arm.
No.
Be the Grim Reaper.
No, it ain't that.
So yeah.
Yeah. So I love magic. So my favorite magician was like Houdini. My name Pooh. I conflated Pooh and Dini and put Pooh-Dini. So it was some kids. I was in high school when I got the tat. You know what I'm saying? Like some shit like that. And I ended up doing some shit like that. But that's what I mean, being a part of like what you were just talking about, being a part of the Matrix. I didn't shake out of that shit until after I got hurt. So a lot of people may look at my story and be like, man, he's the biggest what if, blah, blah, blah. You right. What if I didn't get injured? What? I wouldn't have found myself. I still would have been a part of the fucking circus, bro.
What is the circus?
I mean, going along with the act.
Break it down, because okay. You got into that, yeah.
All right, let me just tell you.
Right.
The circus. Only looking up shit that's on Instagram that they feed to you. Mm-hmm. That's the circus. Mm-hmm. Where it's like, oh, Black history, you learn something about Black history, and it's like, oh, I'm about to look this up now. That's the Matrix.
Yes, Derrick Rose, man. He refused to keep selling out, participating in the rituals. This is exactly why he was forced to sit down with that injury, bro, when they made him fake ACL tear, bro. That happened because he didn't want to keep on participating, so they forced him to sit down. This is how these industries all ran. Go watch the movie Him. They show you how you have to keep participating in rituals and sacrifices in order to get to the top. And, you know, D-Rose didn't want to keep on do that shit, participating in that shit, you know, to get to the top. So he just sat down. I made a video of me talking about this before. You know, in the movie Him that just came out, is showing y'all the truth, bro. They showing y'all, like, what you gotta do in order to get to the top, bro. This is how this shit works in these music industry, all these industries, bro, sports and all that. It's not based on talent. Once you get to that position, it's based on how much you're going to sacrifice in the rituals you're going to participate in. So that's what happened with D-Rose, bro. Like, he just wasn't trying to keep on doing that. That's why he retired so early. That's why they made him fake his injury in the league, man. It's just deep, but it's the honest truth, you know. And this is important for people that, you know, thinking about trying to go to the league and shit like that, like trying to be up there in the high rankings. It's a lot of shit you're going to have to do nowadays, especially how it's ran, man. And that's just the honest truth about it. Like, D-Rose is not taking away the talent from him. He's an amazing basketball player, like I said. But, you know, at the end of the day, if you want to get to the top, you got to participate in the rituals and sacrificing. And in order to be up there, and he wasn't with that, bro. So did a little bit of what he had to do to get to the league and shit like that and make the money he made. But, you know, that's why he just went out with an injury, you know?
Now, I know a lot of people aren't gonna believe, you know, he faked his injury or he was forced to fake his injury, you know, because he didn't want to participate in the rituals. A lot of that stuff goes over people's head. But I'll tell you one thing. If they're doing it in the NFL, they are definitely doing it in the NBA. And a lot of these first round number one picks go through these injuries. Rather, it is ritualistically done. You know, a lot of these first round first picks, they miss their first year and they go through these rituals. Derrick Rose was just another example. 2008, I believe, he was drafted first round, number one pick. And you're going to be put, and just a couple years later, he has that injury. And if you notice what he said after his injury, he found himself. He was able to see past the circus. That is very important to note because he's telling you without that injury, he would have just been just like anybody else. He wouldn't be where he's at today mentally is what he's saying. I mean, today he's still worth $100 million. So for the people that know basketball, you know what he really could have been in that world. He would have eventually been the face of the league and could have been contesting that with LeBron James. So his story is, you know, it's pretty deep. And it's just like a lot of people was bringing up Ben Simmons under the comments of all the Derrick Rose videos, right? And people was like, Ben Simmons didn't sell out. But y'all remember when I used to do that Initiated series, I did a video in the beginning, which I always credited back to Black Child because he's where I learned it from. And once, you know, we started learning the handshakes and all the symbols and stuff like that, when Ben Simmons was drafted number one, you know, first pick, first round, he also did the Mason handshake with Adam Silver, the head of the NBA. And then 2 nights later, after his first cousin, Zachary Simmons, attended his draft night, 2 nights later, he was hit at 3 a.m. by an all-black SUV and killed. So You know, it was people like, oh, Ben Simmons didn't sell out. He didn't do this. Ben Simmons sacrificed his first cousin to be the number 1 draft pick. I mean, you can go and watch Ben Simmons, you know, his draft and to the fraternity that night. They literally did the Freemasonic handshake when he drafted him. It was so on purpose. It doesn't get any more on purpose of the handshake that him and Adam Silver did. But just like in the beginning when Trey Burke said, you know, he was basically like talking about the NBA being like an elite fraternity to get into. That's exactly what it is. And if you're going to get at the top of that fraternity with the Stephen Currys, the James Harden, so on and so on, if you're going to get at that top, you know, you're going to have to do things. It makes me think about James Harden and Lil Baby. Why was they hanging around each other so much at one point? 2 people from 2 different worlds. Why were they hanging around each other so much at one point? See, the James Harden was Lil Baby's handler, or they had stuff going on between each other that they had to do. And they agreed to do it with each other. I mean, it just seemed weird that they was hanging around each other so much. Especially like that time where Lil Baby was looking for Rose and when they was like in France or Paris or something and it like made that meme, BB, Lil BB, Lil BB. And Lil Baby didn't know what was going on and James Harden had to tell him to like, hold on, they trying to take pictures of you.
Nigga, get back here, nigga. What? Come back. They trying to take photos of you. You Lil Baby, you famous. These people? Yeah, nigga, you famous. I'm famous? Yeah, nigga. Quit waving. Oh my God, Joe. Man, back up, man. This nigga don't know what's going on, man. Help him, nigga.
A Prada bag because he proud of me. Full of honey buns. With a honey bun. You know what I'm saying? Man. They got serious, man. You hear me, man? I'm on the ground with a honey bun and a honey bun. You got 2 Richie, man? 2 Richie one day, man.
And he proud of you.
Hey, he brought me a Prada bag because he proud of me, man. You feel me?
Prada bag because he proud of you. Yeah. Honey bun.
They gonna have to catch up tomorrow.
Yeah, I know some of y'all gonna remember that little meme that was going on. It might have been like a couple years ago, but y'all remember they were buying each other gifts and all that kind of stuff. James Harden done did them rituals. He participated. You get your own shoe and you do all that, you with it. And this is just another story of it. I thought it was interesting when the former NBA player Trey Burke was talking about, you know, the superstars taking a dark route. He also talked about the you dig. You remember when Corey Holcomb, you know, that's his word for it, the you dig. I had to bleep it out a couple times, but if y'all look at the screen, y'all know what he was talking about. So yeah, man, y'all already know what's going on, man. I think I'll wrap it up here. That being said, check this out. We got this month of December. You know, we're going every day, 30 for 30. Or how many days in December? Is it 30 or 31? Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. 30 for 30 in December. So y'all let me know what y'all want to see. We got to get this wave going. That being said, y'all, it's Black Balloon. And I'm going to see y'all soon, all right? I'm out.